The IRC, that is Internet Relay Chat Protocol, has been designed over a number of years for use with text-based conferencing. The IRC protocol has been developed on systems using the TCP/IP network protocol. Although there is no requirement that this remains the only sphere in which it operates. IRC itself is a teleconferencing system which is well suited to running on many machines in a distributed fashion. A typical setup involves a single process forming a central point for clients or other servers to connect to and performing the required message delivery or multiplexing and other functions. Servers. The server forms the backbone of IRC, providing a point to which clients may connect to talk to each other, and a point for other servers to connect to, forming an IRC network. The only network configuration allowed for IRC servers is that of a spanning tree where each server acts as a central node for the rest of the net it sees. Clients. A client is anything connecting to a server that is not another server. Each client is distinguished from other clients by a unique nickname having a maximum length of 9 characters. In addition to the nickname, all servers must have the information about all clients, that is, the real name of the host that the client is running on, the username of the client on that host, and the server to which the client is connected. Operators. To allow a reasonable amount of order to be kept within the IRC network, a special class of clients, that is operators, is allowed to perform general maintenance functions on the network. Operators should be able to perform basic network tasks such as disconnecting and reconnecting servers as needed to prevent long-term use of bad network routing. In recognition of this need, the protocol for operators only to be able to perform such functions. A more controversial power of operators is the ability to remove a user from the connected network by force. That is, operators are able to close the connection between any client and server. The justification for this is delicate since its abuse is both destructive and annoying. Channels. A channel is a named group of one or more clients which will all receive messages addressed to that channel. The channel is created implicitly when the first client joins it, and the channel ceases to exist when the last client leaves it. While channel exists, any client can reference the channel using the name of the channel. There are two types of channels allowed by this protocol. One is distributed channel, which is known to all the servers that are connected to the network. These channels are marked by the first character being a only clients on the server where it exists may join it. These are distinguished by a leading AND character. On top of these two types, there are the various channels modes available to alter the characteristics of individual channels. To create a new channel or become part of an existing channel, a user is required to join the channel. If the channel doesn't exist prior to joining, the channel is created and the creating user becomes a channel operator. If the channel already exists, whether or not your request to join that channel is honored depends on the current modes of the channel. Channel operators. The channel operator, also referred to as a chop or chanop on a given channel, is considered to own that channel. In recognition of this status, channel operators are endowed with certain powers which enable them to keep control and some sort of sanity in their channel. As an owner of a channel operator is not required to have reasons for their actions, although if their actions are generally antisocial or otherwise abusive, it might be reasonable to ask an IRC operator to intervene or for the users just leave and go elsewhere from their own channel. A channel operator is identified by the @ symbol next to their nickname whenever it is associated with a channel. The IRC specification. The protocol as described is for use both with server to server and client to server connections. There are, however, more restrictions on client connections than on server connection. Character codes. No specific character set is specified. The protocol is based on a set of codes which are composed of 8 bits, making up an octet. Each message may be composed of any number of these octets. However, some octet values are used for control codes which act as message delimiters. Regardless of being an 8-bit protocol, the delimiters and keywords are such that protocol is mostly usable from US, ASCII terminal and a telnet connection. Messages. Servers and clients send each other messages which may or may not generate a reply. If message contains a valid command, the client should expect a reply as specified, but it is not advised to wait forever for the reply. Client to server and server to server communication is essentially asynchronous in nature. Each IRC message may consist of up to three main parts. They are the prefix, which is optional, the command, and the command parameters, of which there may be up to 15. The prefix, command, and all parameters are separated by one or more ASCII space character or characters. The presence of prefix is indicated with a single leading ASCII colon character, which must be the first character of the message itself. There must be no gap, that is white space, between the colon and the prefix. The prefix is used by servers to indicate the true origin of the message. If the prefix is missing from the message, it is assumed to have originated from the connection from which it was received. Clients should not use prefix when sending a message from themselves. If they use a prefix, the only valid prefix is the registered nickname associated with the client. If the source identified by the prefix cannot be found from the server's internal database, or if the source is registered from a different link than from which the message arrived, the server must ignore the message silently. The command must either be a valid IRC command or a three-digit number represented in ASCII text. IRC messages are always lines of characters terminated with a CRLF, that is carriage return line feed pair, and these messages shall not exceed 512 characters in length, counting all characters including the trailing CRLF. Thus, there are 510 characters maximum allowed for the command and its parameters. There is no provision for continuation message lines. Numeric replies. Most of the messages sent to the server generate a reply of some sort. The most common reply is the numeric reply, used for both errors and normal replies. The numeric reply must be sent as one message consisting of the sender prefix, the three-digit numeric, and the target of the reply. A numeric reply is not allowed to originate from a client. Any such messages received by a server are silently dropped. In all other respects, a numeric reply is just like a normal message, except that the keyword is made up of three numeric digits rather than a string of a letter. One-to-one communication in IRC concept. Communication on a one-to-one basis is usually only performed by clients, since most server-to-server traffic is not a result of servers talking only to each other. To provide a secure means for clients to talk to each other, it is required that all servers be able to send a message in exactly one direction along the spanning tree in order to reach any client. The path of message being delivered is the shortest path between any 2 points on the spanning tree. One-to-many communication. The main goal of IRC is to provide a forum which allows easy and efficient conferencing in one-to-many conversations. IRC offers several means to achieve this, each serving its own purpose. Communication to a list. The least efficient style of one-to-many conversation is through clients talking to a list of users. How this is done is almost self-explanatory. The client gives a list of destinations to which the message is to be delivered, and the server breaks it up and dispatches a separate copy of the message to each given destination. This isn't as efficient as using a group, since the destination list is broken up and the dispatch sent without checking to make sure duplicates aren't sent down each path. Communication to a group, that is channel. In IRC, the channel has a role equivalent to that of the multicast group. Their existence is dynamic, and the actual conversation carried out on a channel is only sent to servers which are supporting users on a given channel. If there are multiple users on a server in the same channel, the message text is sent only once to that server and then sent to each client on the channel. This action is then repeated for each client-server combination until the original message has fanned out and reached each member of the channel. Communication to a host or server mask. To provide IRC operators with some mechanism to send messages to a large body of related users, host and server mask messages are provided. These messages are sent to users whose host or server information match that of the mask. The messages are only sent to locations where users are in a fashion similar to that of channels. One-to-all communication. The one-to-all type of message is better described as a broadcast message and is sent to all clients or servers or both. On a large network of users and servers, a single message can result in a lot of traffic being sent over the network in an effort to reach all of the desired destinations. For some messages, there is no option but to broadcast it to all servers so that the state information held by each server is reasonably consistent between servers. Client to client. There is no class of message which results in a message being sent to every other client. Client to server. Most of the commands which result in a change of state of information must be sent to all servers by default, and this distribution may not be changed by the client. Server to server. While most messages between servers are distributed to all other servers, this is only required for any message that affects either a user, channel, or server. Since these are the basic items found in IRC, nearly all messages originating from a server are broadcast to all other connected servers.